Morning and welcome to our journey to Storybook Land. My name is Roxanne. I will be your captain and storyteller aboard Baleen. For your safety, we do ask you please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, and feet inside the boat at all times. And we do ask you please supervise your little ones so our journey doesn't take any unexpected turns. While most people travel to enchanted places through the pages of a book, others who visit in person, whether down a rabbit hole or with a little help of pixie dust, often find it magical. Though it does look like we're being swallowed through the jaws of Monstro, the same whale who swallowed Pinocchio, we're actually being transported off to a magical place called Storybook Land. And like with all good stories, our story starts off with once upon a time, and in our case, with the big bad wolf who just lives on our cave just to our left, who is always chasing after those three little pigs who luckily live right on our right, in these three houses, with one made out of straw, one made out of sticks, and one made out of wolf-proof bricks. And while our journey does take an unexpected turn to Alice's quaint little village, where one golden afternoon, Alice follows a white rabbit down a rabbit hole, down, 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 to Wonderland, where things only became curiouser and curiouser from then on. It is here in Storybook Land where we have fantastic places like London Park, where Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and with a little help of a pixie dust, help fly John, Michael, and Wendy Darling off to Neverland, where they never ever have to grow up. And places like Agrabah, a city of mystery and enchantment. It is here in the streets of Agrabah, a street rat named Aladdin first bumped into Princess Jasmine and stole her heart. Though they are both from two different worlds, but thankfully with the power of love and with the little help of a genie, are now married and live on top of the Sultan's palace. It is here in Storybook Land where we have magical places where love shines, just like the rose-covered arches, the same ones where Aladdin and Jasmine first took their magic carpet ride through and under to a whole new world. Like with all good stories that are filled with love and light, there's also their darkness and mystery, just like the Cave of Wonders just up ahead, where a treasure bears a curse. But legend has had it, whoever sets the genie free from the magical lamp will be granted 3 wishes. What should we wish for? Snow White wished for a safe place when she fled from the evil queen and found it in this cottage just to our right, where 7 little dwarves live, and in return for her kindness, they offered her their shelter, and you might even hear them whistle while they work. Cinderella wished to go to the ball, but while her evil stepmother forbade it and locked her up in the blue chateau roof on our lap. But while her fairy godmother granted that very wish, Cinderella did not return by midnight, and her carriage turned into a pumpkin which you can still see on the bridge. But like with all good stories, wishes do have their limits, but thankfully love does not. And now Cinderella and her Prince Charming live on top of the castle. Wishes inspire the dreams, and while some dreams are of happily ever after, others are literal dreams, ones that inspires babies to sleep on hills of wilted flowers, just like the ones on our left, inspired by the 1933 Silly Symphony cartoon Lullaby Land. Magic is here everywhere in Storybook Land, even in the plants made small, through the enchantment of Tinkerbell, which they never ever have to grow up, just like the Lost Boys of Neverland, and which has become a favorite of master storyteller Walt Disney, which continues to inspire new tales.
House. I found everyone.
Stories like Winds in the Willow with Mole Rat and Mr. Toad, whose stately manner is just on our left. But sorry folks, as he is not home right now, as he is off in his motor car going nowhere in particular. And just beyond the forest, you can spot a small rock garden where magical trolls help Anna and Elsa, who live on Arendelle by the bay. While Elsa fled to the icy palace, fearing she was going to harm someone with her magical powers, Anna refused to let her go and brought her back home. Meanwhile, in the Alpine village, Woodmaker Geppetto wished upon a star to bring his puppet to life as a real boy. And while Pinocchio saved him from the belly of the whale, the blue fairy godmother granted that very wish. Geppetto's wish is like that of so many in stories, was it inspired a little mermaid named Ariel to follow Princess to the castle just right our race, where she wished life above the sea and with unsteady legs, her wish came true and now has become part of our world. But her story follows the fall of our King Triton in the underwater city of Atlantica, where the adventure continues to spill out, and like with all good stories, ends with a happily ever after. As we close the story on our book, we do ask you please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, and fingers inside the boat at all times. And once we come to a full and complete stop,